Divorce is not easy.
On a recent panel, you said you couldn't sleep for a year and a half, that you cried for a lot of that time.
You know, black men have feelings. You know, black men hurt. So it's like sometimes we feel like we're dealing with it alone.
Man, I really feel for this guy because it's one thing for you to go through a breakup, and it's another thing for you to go through a breakup in front of the entire world. And on top of it, like, his ex has said a lot of ridiculous things. Like, she hasn't completely thrown shade at him, but she said things like, oh, this is like an upgrade, and just like a bunch of like just nonsense. And just to like, first of all, having people know that you went through a divorce and then seeing your ex date people in front of you, like that's hard.
I mean, this is also 2024 too, in the sense that when you break up with somebody, now social media is going to make it almost inevitable if you follow them, which I wouldn't. You're probably going to see who they're dating next. But listen, I like both Corey and Tia a lot, and I hope that they do reconcile. I'm not saying that's what they're looking to do, but I hope that that happens just for the sake of them and their kids. Obviously, none of us knows what really went on behind closed doors and what led to their divorce. What I do know is that since their split, Corey has displayed or portrayed a better public image than Tia has.
I was about to say that. He really showed how mature he is, and just in the way that he's handled it. Like, he hasn't said anything crazy. And if anything, I'll be honest, because he's been so quiet, people are kind of forced to pay more attention to his acting, which I think is a good part, because this is the most I've ever like seen him act. And this is the most I think people have ever paid attention to it. Because he's always been one of those people that, like, his face is recognizable. Like, you know he's an actor.
Yeah.
But, like, he's not, like, Denzel Washington or anything else like that. But, like, now it's, like, because of all the attention that's coming from Tia Mowry, like, people are kind of looking at him like, okay, well, he does have some talent. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's a plus in that. I do like, my sister grew up watching Sister Sister. I like that show. I think it's a pretty good show.
Or you?
He
trying to switch it up.
I mean, listen, it was kind of, we're in the same house.
I hear you. Go ahead.
I like the show. It's a good show.
Go ahead.
I like her, but I don't like the way that she's, I guess, displayed herself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard. This is why it's hard to judge celebrities. It's hard to judge celebrities because it's hard to tell what's actually them and what they're actually doing for their career. Because part of it might be just because she's trying to get publicity. She might be trying to get a new role. And you know how actors are. Actors have to audition for every single role that they get. Like, unless you're friends with a director like Michael B. Jordan's friends with Ryan Coogler. So a lot of times Ryan Coogler will have a script, hit up Michael B. Jordan, and I mean, it's not a surprise who gets casted.
I will say this. Tia seems like she's been floundering a bit since the divorce. And as you mentioned before, she seems to, I'm not saying she's like taking a dump on their past relationship, but I will say that she's using words that are not the friendliest. Like, oh, I graduated from my marriage.
Yeah.
Like, as if it was something that was holding her back. And she even used terminology like, oh, now I left something that no longer serves me. It all sounds very selfish to me.
I think social media has really gotten to her head is what I think. Because I think a lot of times people think social media is real, and then they walk outside and then they get smacked with reality and realize it's not. Because in her head, she's probably thinking, I don't know how long they've been married. I know they've been married for like probably more than 10 years, right? For maybe like 15, 20 years. I don't know.
I know what that long.
But
yeah, long time.
This isn't 1998.
Right.
So it's like, I think in her head, she thought that like, okay, I'm a superstar. It's going to be like when I found my husband, I'm going to have a lot of offers. And then she's realizing like, these aren't the same generation of men. Like it's different.
I personally think that it was more so for her. I don't think she left her marriage to go find another man. I think she's doing that now as a result of being divorced. I think she left her marriage because she didn't feel, keyword, feel happy in her marriage. Not to say Corey did anything wrong, but I think that they probably settled into a boring, routine marriage and focusing on the kids and focusing on their careers, and maybe that spark and those butterflies weren't there. And Tia seems like a very bubbly, emotional person. Corey, on the other hand, seems very stoic and very...
I was about to say that. Like, I've rarely ever seen him talk.
Or smile. I'm not... No, that's no shade at him, but what I'm saying is, yeah, so it's like, I could already see there might be a mismatch of energy there, and maybe she's like, oh, it's time for me to go, because, for what, her emotions got the best of her. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't think she left.
You don't think opposites attract, though? Because I
attract, but I don't think that they're good for a long-term relationship.
Because I normally don't see two people that are the same in a relationship. Like, I've rarely ever seen like two like people that are like really uppity. Like, I've never seen like two of them together. Like, it always seems to be like a balance. Like one person's normally like more chill than the other. Like, so, I don't know. I've never seen two chill people either.
Oh, I've seen plenty of those.
Like two people that just don't talk.
I've seen it. I've seen couples that all they do is read books. They don't like going out. You know why you don't really see them? Because they're in the house. But I know people like. But here's the thing, though. I read an article on this because I'm a nerd about. I'm just gonna be honest.
Nerd.
I'm a nerd. And I read about the opposite attracts whole idea, and they say that it can work, but a lot of times when it works, typically it's the traditional way of the husband is more of the extroverted one, and the wife is more the demure one. But you know,
that actually makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So I mean,
that makes a lot of sense.
But who knows? But I mean, they do say opposites attract. I don't know. Personally, this is personal.
Yeah.
I tried it, and I like someone that has the same energy as me. Not same as me, because I'm crazy, but same energy as me. You know what I mean? That's just me.
I don't know if I've had a extreme. Everybody that I've dated to and or have talked to have kind of had. They're similar to me, but they've either been like a notch down or like a notch up in some kind of way. I don't think I've ever dated someone or talked to someone where they were just like completely 360 different.
Yeah.
But I'm a person where I consider myself in the middle anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, then what's 360 to that?
Oh, we talked about how Tia, she's on IG and social media, posting herself in a little more provocatively than she normally would.
Yeah.
So it seems like Tia's gone outward, and she's trying to like maybe seek validation or seek something outside externally to make herself feel better. Whereas Corey seems to have gone inward, which I guess that makes sense too. Because
the thing that I'm wondering is like, okay, couples like that, sometimes they do get back together.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, is Tia making it to the point where like he won't want to get back together with her? Because that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, if I was with an ex for a long time, you're always going to have feelings. Yeah. But if I see her say that stuff about me and then just be like, just all over social media, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm good off of that.
I know, I'm with you on that.
But I mean, they have kids. Like, it's a little different. They have kids, and they've been together since they're like, what, 17? Like,
I have no idea, but a long time.
Some long time. So it's going to be hard to not love someone that you've been with for that long.
Yeah, for me, it'd be more so if she goes out and she says things, okay, fine, I can forgive it. But if she's out there and she's just dating a lot of different guys,
yeah, and then you have to fit. Here's the thing though, when you break up, we all as guys, you all know that kind of happens.
Yeah.
But then when you see it, it's completely different. Yeah, like if it had to be right in front of your face, I don't even think women would like that if it was right in front of their face. I mean, divorce hurts everybody, and I think he's handled it the best way that he possibly can. Into a statement about saying it's okay for men to show more emotion. I actually think this is a generation where men have showed too much emotion. If I'm just being completely honest. Like, I think what he's referring to is guys in his generation. I don't think he's referring to, like, the generation now. The generation now, all I see is emotion. That's not always a bad thing. It's just that sometimes it's about things that don't require, like, a lot of emotion. I'm like, dude, why are you crying? But to each his own. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think his generation is a bit different. Funny enough, he might be in our generation. He might be like an elder millennial. I don't know how old he is, if I'm being honest. But no, he's probably.
Bro? He's up there, bro.
Well, you know, millennial starts like 82. No, 81 almost. I think 81. So you could be 3 and be a millennial technically.
Oh, okay.
Like I said in the beginning, I like both Corey and Tia. Obviously, I don't know them personally. I only know them from their roles and what I've seen on, not even social media, just interviews or whatever. But they just. I like them. A couple I'll root for. If they don't get back together, I hope that they find a way to co-parent effectively and that their kids are great and they're great individually. I hope Tia gets it together too. She seems a little.
Yeah, she's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So this has been Bad Decisions. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.